It's exciting just to get people into the movie theater on a film that was created before most of them were born. And it'll look better than it looked in 70mm back then.
Get down.
There's a danger that you sort of go down a whirlpool of nostalgia, and that's really not what we were doing, here. I mean, I think the idea was we take something that's still, I think, fondly remembered and still enjoyed by people that never got an opportunity to see it in theaters. So when it was proposed that we do this, I thought, wow, I can put this movie back in theaters, and it'll look better than it looked in 70mm back then with what we can do, because we started with a 4K transfer, and then we cleaned it up and denoised and sharpened it, and we got the colors perfect. I even brought the DP back, Adam Greenberg. He's 80 years old. His eye for color is as perfectly calibrated as it was back then. So you start with that as a baseline. Then you do the 3D conversion on top of that, and you do it right. So now we're offering people an experience that has never been possible to see.
The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day.
I lost control of the intellectual property very early on, like before I'd even made the first film, when I was kind of nobody and I was still driving a truck. Now, interestingly, coming full circle, the rights, at least in the U.S., actually revert to me in a year and a half. And so, I now have to ask the question, is there something that I could say in the Terminator universe that is meaningful today? Because interestingly enough, a lot of the things that were science fiction back in the 80s and 90s are on the edge of reality now, if not already here. We have killer drones, we have UCAVs, unmanned combat vehicles, and so on. And we're on the cusp of artificial intelligence that could be the equal of human. And by on the cusp, I mean maybe in the next 2 to 3 decades. So these are now real concerns, legitimate concerns for our society. So, how does one stay ahead of that as an author in science fiction?
Come with me if you want to live.
It's okay, Mom. He's here to help. It's okay.
It's exciting just to get people into the movie theater on a film that was created before most of them were born.
I'll be back.